Here's Trump on State of the Union. Talked about this earlier. Jacob Tapper. Will you unequivocally condemn David Duke and say that you don't want his vote or that of other white supremacists in this election?
I know nothing about David Duke. I know nothing about white supremacists. And so you're asking me a question that I'm supposed to be talking about people that I know nothing about. I have to look at the group. I mean, I don't know what group you're talking about. You wouldn't want me to condemn a group that I know nothing about. I have to look. If you would send me a list of the groups, I will do research on them. And certainly I would disavow if I thought there was something wrong. But you may have groups in there that are totally fine, and it would be very unfair. So give me a list of the groups, and I'll let you know.
Well, Jake Tapper was sort of Klan, for crying out loud, the Ku Klux Klan, and David Duke. So Trump is now saying he had a lousy earpiece. Donald Trump on Monday, this is from thehill.com, blamed a poor earpiece for sparking a misunderstanding over white nationalist David Duke's support. I'm sitting in a house in Florida with a very, very bad earpiece they gave me. Trump told Matt Lauer on the Today Show today. So I sit down, I have a lousy earpiece provided by them. You could hardly hear what Tapper was saying. What I heard was various groups. I have no problem disavowing groups, but I'd at least like to know who they are. It'd be very unfair disavowing a group if they shouldn't be disavowed. But in this soundbite, Trump says, I know nothing about David Duke. So you heard that. I know the Trumpists are going to be all over me here. This is why I don't endorse, folks. There's nothing to win. So I mentioned that Trump was on the Today Show with Matt Lauer. Well, and Savannah Guthrie, she had a question. You were asked about David Duke, the former Grand Wizard of the KKK. You said 3 times in the interview that you don't know who David Duke is, and you refuse to disavow or distance yourself from him. People are scratching their heads over that. You disavowed David Duke 2 days ago. Why were you presenting that you didn't know who the person was? Why not disavow Duke, disavow the Klan? What's going on here?
I know who he is, but I never met David Duke. How many times do I have to continue to disavow people? And the question was asked about David Duke and various groups, and I don't know who the groups are. I'm sitting in a house in Florida with a very bad earpiece that they gave me, and you could hardly hear what he was saying, but what I heard was various groups, and I don't mind disavowing anybody, and I disavowed David Duke, and I disavowed him the day before at a major news conference. I have no problem with disavowing groups, but I'd at least like to know who they are. I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
Okay, folks, I'm telling you, this is all true, and I'm going back to why he disavows them on Friday, he disavows them on Saturday, he disavows them today, but he won't disavow them on Jake Tapper's CNN Sunday show. And here he's admitting he's disavowed it. I disavowed David Duke. I disavowed him a day before at a major news conference. I have no problem with disavowing groups. I'd at least like to know who they are. I disavowed Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter. But why not on the CNN Sunday show? Oh, that's right. He had a crappy earpiece. I'm sorry. That's right. I'm telling you, there's a reason why he chose not to disavow on that show. And I think it's wrapped around the fact that it's a Sunday show. Now, I know you can say, Rush, what does it matter? Because all these other disavowals are everywhere, so it's not as though he can hide the disavowal by not making it on Sunday, because all these places, Twitter, he's disavowing it everywhere. Yes, that's true. But Twitter does not carry the weight of a Sunday show appearance. Can we agree? Would you agree? Facebook doesn't carry. Would you agree that a campaign appearance in anywhere in Alabama does not have the weight of a Sunday show? I'm just asking. I'm just like you. I'm trying to figure this out. You want to stick with the crappy hearing piece? Okay. Well, you stick with the crappy hearing piece.